Yeah, hello everybody. Welcome to the final table of the Star Wars Armada Canadian Nationals.
My name is Jordan Kearsage. I will be commentating with our producer Victor here. Welcome everybody to VTTV, both on Twitch and streaming on YouTube. I'm back here again. We're going to be doing the grand finals of the Grand Championship. Is that what we're calling nationals now?
It's called Grand Championships now.
Okay, so
Right.
it's going to take a little while for everybody to get used to that. I'm going to say nationals a couple times. It'll be fine. I'm pretty sure I did
Yeah.
that a bunch yesterday, but it's fine.
So, for those of you that were watching yesterday, we had 4 rounds of Swiss featuring 20 players that showed up. A bunch of people, mostly from the eastern part of not the United States, Canada. Well, I guess that was a Freudian slip. I
Yeah,
almost said.
it was a long day yesterday. I don't
Yeah.
know if we've all woken up yet, but
But yeah, so mostly from Eastern, although we did get some, I think we got a couple of American players, maybe not for Armada, definitely for the other events that we have going on this weekend.
Brendan from out
that's
east
right.
west, and that's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
from Manitoba, Brendan from Manitoba.
Oh,
We
and
have
Yick.
a couple
Yick
of
is now
Ottawa guys,
Manitoba.
right?
Yep.
So 20, I think 20 people registered, 19 people showed up. And now, just because it's a smaller event than some of the other nationals that have been going on this weekend, for example, this weekend we had Krakow had the European Grand Championships, and I believe the Armada event there was attended by 70 people. However, those of you who know competitive Armada know that the Canadian tournament scene is actually highly competitive. There's a lot of alumni here that can boast
Some
to
accolades.
having
Yeah.
some very good finishes. Yesterday we had Norm on commentary, and he was the 2017 World Championship
Yep.
champion, as you know. Yick was also in attendance this weekend. He was, of course, the 2018 runner-up, losing
Yep.
to Nathan in the finals in a very close match. But yeah, so there's a lot of competition. We saw, and we're going to just bring up the standings very quickly, the final standings after 4 rounds of Swiss from yesterday. And you can see there on the screen. Actually, one thing we were discussing about this before today started, and we were talking about the potential effect of the Super Star Destroyer on the spread
Yes.
of
Yeah.
tournament points, right? So looking at the list here, we have first and second place, and we're going to be seeing those two players playing it out for the title of Canadian Grand Champion. In first place after Swiss, we had Montana Hunter from Ottawa playing a Sloan, I believe it was a Sloan ISD. No, Gergerod ISD list.
Yes.
Ending up with 33 points. So he actually ended up getting a bye in round one, but then did very well for the next 3 rounds.
Absolutely.
Actually playing Christian in
Round three.
yeah, playing Christian in round three and actually beating him. So Christian had to work really hard to win his subsequent round, which was also on camera against Philip.
Yep.
On round four, ending up with 31 points, just squeezing out second place over Paul. Paul, who ended up with 30 points. But going beyond that, you look at going from fourth place all the way down to 11th place, or maybe fifth place down to 11th place. The spread was actually very small.
Oh yeah. We were, as of round three, we had about 4 or 5 people that only had 20 points, and there was really, really close. I'd like to point out these players, Yick and Derek. They were both within the 21 to 20 point range. Both of them brought Super Star Destroyers, and we were discussing it had an interesting effect. I believe the round three spread was about 25, 21, and then those 4 or 5 players who had 20 points. Some of them, actually most of them played against one Super Star Destroyer in that day, and either they had a choice, crush it and receive the full 400 points, or potentially cripple it, maybe get 150 points, but the Super Star Destroyers seemed very resilient. I don't know if we had any of them on stream died. I don't believe so. Sorry, we had one on stream. It was down to 2 hull. A couple of them did die. They were flanked by an ISD and had a very nasty time.
Right.
But we found that the people that went up and played it, it definitely leveled the score. There was no real runaway. Now, Montana did have 25 points after 3 rounds, which is, high. He did very well, but I'm more used to seeing people with 27, 28 points and consistently, being a runaway. There was a clear runaway, which yesterday was anybody's game. After round 3, if Montana dropped a game, there was someone easily that could have grabbed that first spot. But it's very interesting to see. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think many Superstar Destroyers showed up at the Euros, whether availability or people wanting to purchase it. But it's going to have an effect on the meta that I don't think we've properly fleshed out, right? Like and again, this is one tournament. It does not define the meta, though we'd like to think here in Canada we do. The point spreads and was really, really close the whole way.
Yeah, for sure. And you just saw that in the standings, right? And I think, like you said, Jordan, that the SSD had, I think, a bit of a flattening effect on the point spread for this tournament.
Yeah.
So we've just come back to the main table, and both players have gotten underway for their final match. Of course, we have 3 hours for this final round. The players have decided who's going first, and it's going to be Christian on the top of the screen, who's going to be the first player for this game, and chose among Montana's objective fighter ambush. So this is basically a rehash of round 3 of yesterday that we saw.
It's the rock placement is also very similar. For those yesterday, this asteroid was down here, this asteroid was over here, and this asteroid was over here. And rock placement is it hasn't been my strongest suit. If you followed yesterday, I don't have a strong suit apparently, except push squadrons at someone and pray for the best. But it looks like the fight was contained around those asteroids for round 3 along the center right-hand side of the screen. So I'm expecting that there's going to be a lot of squadron battles among them. The ships are going to try and dodge through there. Montana's list is a little more suited for it, just using Jer Gerard.
So
or was it? Sorry, we just have to check his list again. Just making sure that we have the right one up there. So. Oh, I am totally incorrect. It was Sloan. His ISD was doing some crazy tricks yesterday, so I don't remember exactly what happened.
Oh, 1 second. I just got to check the just give me 1 second, guys.
Having a little technical difficulty. Was his commander. There were a couple triggers in there. Nice. It probably helped more so in the squadron battle, which was, by the way, an interesting squadron battle as it was very dispersed around the asteroids. It was not just a giant ball that you would have seen flying around the station. You'd have a fight up here, you'd have squadron engagement here, here, and here, and it definitely was not just a big cluster of squadrons shooting at each other. It was a lot more engaged and spread out. Eventually, when things started peeling away, it would break down into the actually, it was really important to notice that the grit came in multiple times. Merrick flying away, disengaging to go shoot a ship. Jonas getting away from an engagement to go give his abilities. And for those who didn't watch, Captain Jonas really put in a lot of work, providing an extra set of teeth for the victory one. There is a combo piece here, if you're perusing through the list, between the quad turbo lasers, Warlord, and Captain Jonas. So Captain Jonas allows a ship, when a ship is attacking another ship, we're just going to be cutting the audio for just a
sorry
second.
guys, I have to restart the stream because the video cut out, and so the table microphone is a bit choppy. So we're gonna be back in just 1 second. Just please bear with me.